Hello and welcome. I'm Sarah White. I'm the nutritional therapist here at Ocean Rock Wellness. I am recording from home today, self-isolation. So what we are talking about is preparing for pregnancy. It's a large focus and area of interest for me when it comes to nutritional therapy, so I was overjoyed to get this topic today. Preparing for pregnancy is, I'll just use the term preconception nutrition. And so we will jump into what today's talk is about. Can I do a time count? Preconception, focused nutrition considerations. I'll say nutrition and lifestyle considerations. Discussion points we'll talk through. How long does it take to make a baby? The importance of nutrition and why it matters. Considerations for vegan and vegetarians because of the uprise in vegan and vegetarianism. Areas of focus and crucial nutrients to consider when it comes to creating a healthy baby. Functional testing, and we'll go through recipes as well. I will be answering any questions today. However, you can send me an email. At the end, I'll tell you my email address. You can send me an email or you can book in for a consultation. And what this does not include. So the idea today is to go through ideas and considerations around preconception nutrition. There's a natural overlap between fertility and supporting fertility and preconception, but there are subtle differences. So we're not focused on infertility or subfertility today. We're looking at preconception, but again, there is an overlap between fertility, preconception, and prenatal nutrition. And I will make reference here and there to the role of nutrition when it comes to fertility. The other thing this is not personalized nutrition recommendations, so we won't be going too deep into supplementation or functional testing specific for you. And that's because when I see clients in clinic, I do a full health assessment that includes looking at genetics, so risk factors or predispositions. We look at your current diet, lifestyle, environmental exposure, stress, everything that's going to impact. And then based on those imbalances, deficiencies, or areas of focus that we need, I then make recommendations, both nutritionally, supplementation, and lifestyle, and testing based on that. So no personalized nutrition recommendations today, just general guidelines and considerations. Still fun. First step, preconception period. So what we say is that it takes 12 months to grow a baby or make a baby. 3 months of focused nutrition and preconception care, and 9 months, of course, growing inside of a mother. Why 3 months? It takes 75 days to 100 days for a sperm cycle, so for sperm to develop, and sperm are then subject to the health of the male. So sperm health is a mirror of the health of its donor. Similar to eggs, it takes 3 months to grow and be ready for ovulation. So both on the female and male side, there's about a 3-month period where we can really use nutrition and lifestyle to imprint on and boost fertility, as well as ensuring optimal levels of nutrients and certain imbalances are fixed before we pass along that DNA into offspring. Having said that, it's never too early and it's never too late. I say that because you could be pregnant and use some of the considerations today and it be incredibly useful. But again, it's also never too early. So whether you're planning 9 days from now, 9 months from now, or 9 years from now, epigenetics is the study of how our nutrition and lifestyle alter our gene expression. But it's also our genes that get passed along to our offspring. So focusing on certain areas now will definitely benefit long-term and can increase or reduce risk of your child then having certain conditions or diseases. So we're all on the prevention side here, and optimizing both a healthy pregnancy and a full pregnancy term, as well as your offspring's life, both in childhood and into adulthood. Next up, the responsibility almost always lies on the female to be in good health. But what we know is that sperm health and sperm motility, quantity, quality is on the decline. So it's just as important for men to be a part of this picture. The other part of this is that 50% of the DNA going to the child will be most often paternal. And so his genes, whether they are dictated by his health often, or can be influenced by his health, is what he will then give off to his offspring. So really important that it's a mutual responsibility. And when I work with people in clinic from a preconception or from a fertility perspective, unless proven otherwise, I work with a couple, and whether that's one or both people coming into the session, I think it's really important that there's an equal responsibility. The last bit is the preconception period. Think of these 3 months or however long you're giving yourself as a time to cook up a healthy baby. It's teamwork that's really important here, and there's lots of opportunity. Now, I will say that there's never certainty when it comes to creating a baby, but we do as much as we possibly can, kind of with the parameters and the research that we have. And a lot is within our control when it comes to nutrition and lifestyle. And so we work with those parameters. I will pop into immune systems later. Next up are vegan and vegetarian concerns. And this was when we put out that we were doing this preconception nutrition video. We had some feedback asking for information in terms of vegan and vegetarians. So because there's such an uprise, there are more considerations than normal. And when someone comes into clinic looking for fertility or preconception nutrition recommendations, I always ask kind of what prompted them to become vegan or vegetarian. And the reason is that it could be ethical, environmental, health, or they generally just don't like it. But because we often, when it comes to certain nutrients, need to be extra cautious or extra, extra engaged around certain things like omega-3s, iron, B12, I do see whether they've got flexibility to have some animal products, whether it's organic eggs, organic yogurt, marine collagen, a bit of chicken soup now and again, because otherwise we just want to be really proactive around those nutrients, and my supplementation and nutrition recommendations would reflect that. So crucial nutrients to consider for a vegan vegetarian diet would be B12, choline, glycine, folate, omega-3s, iron, and vitamin D. Of course, all vitamins and minerals are being really important, but these are ones that would be a bit more difficult and lacking potentially in a vegan and vegetarian diet. I'll talk through a few points. Choline is really important to help nutrients across the placenta. It's also really important for brain development, so neurodevelopment in offspring. However, we didn't know this until recent years, so many prenatal supplements won't include choline. Now, choline is found in organic peanuts and organic eggs, and those are the main sources. So for a vegan or vegetarian without adequate choline sources, we'd want to ensure that their prenatal does have choline and see if they would consider having organic eggs in their diet several times a week. Organic is important, and I can touch on this soon. Next one is folate. So the importance of folate in preconception nutrition is, how many women do you know who became pregnant but didn't know it until week 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Well, folate, or you might know the word folic acid, is important to prevent neural tube defects. Now, all neural tube development, which is kind of spine and brain development, happens in those first few weeks of pregnancy. So you might be pregnant and not know it, and your baby's growing and requires certain nutrients. So ensuring optimal levels of folate is just a really good idea. Now, folate is the natural form of the synthetic folic acid, which you would see in most prenatal supplements. Folic acid has been milled into food. I can't remember the word. Lots of words, but basically folate has been enriched into certain foods because of this neural tube defect prevention strategy. However, what we know is that many people aren't able, especially women, aren't able to always turn the folic acid into the active, they aren't able to turn it into the active form and to use it for methylation, which is really important here for preconception. So an activated form or a food synthesized form of folate is great and very, very crucial in a vegan and vegetarian diet especially. You can get this from things like lentils, asparagus, spinach, beans, and broccoli. Next up, omega-3 fatty acids. Two really important ones, DHA and EPA. They are found in plant-based sources such as hemp seeds, chia seeds, ground flax seeds, walnuts, pumpkin. They're also found in organic eggs, sardines, wild salmon, cod, mackerel. When it comes to the plant-based sources, it's often harder for the body to excrete the nutrients and turn it into a usable form. So you would need a lot of flax seeds, a lot of reliance, and you'd need to be very, very cautious of including it in your diet as much as possible. Sometimes it's therefore easier to do an omega-3 supplement. The benefit of an omega-3 supplement is that omega-3 supplements have often, a professional grade, would have gone through testing to ensure that there's no levels of metals detected. So it's a really clean source to ensure you're getting crucial omega-3s, which helps with brain development, cell development, cell membrane fluidity, which is great for fertility, but also growing a baby. So omega-3s are another one. Iron, another really important. For vegan or vegetarian, there's heme and non-heme. Non-heme is a plant-based, would come from a plant-based source, so spinach, lentils, sources like that. Again, similar to omega-3s, it's hard for the body to be able to utilize and absorb non-heme iron. So there are a few things we can do. We can pair with vitamin C, which increases the bioavailability and absorption. So that could be something like spinach and strawberries, so made into a salad or a smoothie. It could be lentils with some lemon juice or chopped parsley, so whether that's a lentil salad or a lentil stew. But pairing iron with vitamin C can help with the absorption. When it comes to iron, you can have iron overload. So before supplementing with an iron supplement, you should always test and do blood work first. However, a lot of women are deficient in iron, so I'll discuss this in blood work, but it's something I would always consider from a preconception, is having lots of great sources from your food. Fats, next up, build you or break you down. Fats are really important, and I popped this in here because many women who I see in clinic are still under the assumption that fats will make you fat, one, and two, that we should limit them for other reasons, such as cholesterol. Fats are really important for cell membrane fluidity to ensure we're getting nutrients in and out of our cells, but also, similar to the membrane of a cell, an egg has a membrane as well, and it needs to be quite fluid, and you get membrane fluidity from really good sources of fats like omega-3s. It needs to be fluid for the sperm to be able to penetrate. So important for fertility, but also for preconception. A few other nutrition considerations: carbohydrates, antioxidants, probiotics, and prebiotics. I'll touch on antioxidants. When it comes to carbohydrates, I always look for really good quality. So following kind of Mediterranean diet, carbohydrates, whole grain, preferably gluten-free, like quinoa, brown rice, and from sources such as root vegetables or fruits, so carrot, beetroot, pumpkin, butternut squash. A bit of potato, new potatoes, as well as fruits, so watermelon, blackberries, blueberries, pears, mango, peaches. Those are really good nutrient-dense sources of carbohydrates. And in portions that are appropriate, they are really good because they've got lots of fiber and antioxidants in them. Antioxidants, the next one. Antioxidants are really crucial. They're crucial for women, but they're especially crucial for men to help with sperm health, quality and quantity of sperm. And that's because sperm quality and quantity has decreased dramatically over the past years. And it's a natural aging process as well, that there's going to be oxidative damage done to sperm cells. So antioxidants are really important, and I would very much focus from a male perspective is including lots of colors. I think of colors and deep, rich, pigmented colors. So rich pigments equal a broad spectrum of antioxidants. So anything from blackberries to watermelon, broccoli, blueberries, cranberry, pomegranate, anything with a pigment and a deep-rooted pigment is really good from antioxidants. You can also get antioxidants from nuts and seeds. So pumpkin seeds are really rich in zinc, almonds are really rich in vitamin E, and Brazil nuts are really rich in selenium. So I love, especially for men when I'm trying to boost their antioxidants, is having an afternoon snack with fruit, something rich pigmented, pairing it with things like Brazil nuts and pumpkin seeds. Probiotics and prebiotics are really important to ensure both mother and father good gut health, but also for the mother's perspective is having lots of beneficial bacteria that she'll be able to then pass along to her offspring through her breast milk, but also because you begin to develop your child's immune system whilst they're still in the mother. So next up is functional testing, just some preconception blood work that I usually go through, because then once we, I like the term test, don't guess. I like to look at iron levels, so we know if you've got tip-top iron levels. Many women are deficient in iron and have low iron, so iron and ferritin. Next would be B12 levels, hemoglobin A1C. Optimal weight is really important, so getting to a comfortable weight for a woman, ensuring she's not underweight or overweight, because those can also interfere with ovulation, hormones, and fertility. But hemoglobin A1C is a great biomarker to look, and it reflects your blood sugar levels over a 3-month period. So from a preventative perspective, getting your blood sugar levels under control preconception is good, because then we're looking at a great strategy to prevent gestational diabetes. So that's hemoglobin A1C. We could look at highly sensitive C-reactive protein from an inflammatory marker. Homocysteine is important because it gives me an indication of how well someone's folate and B12 levels are and whether they're able to utilize them and use them within a kind of like a methyl cycle, so methylation, which would be important for DNA replication and cell division and replication, as well as a mother's ability kind of to support natural detoxification. And what I would get from the homocysteine would be whether they need active B vitamins to support to be able to be utilized. Lifestyle considerations, next up. Lifestyle considerations are really important in preconception. I kind of think of it as, what do you have to lose? You actually have quite a bit when it comes to fertility and subfertility, because these can impact that. But also creating a baby, if you can spend 3 months taking out cigarette smoking, recreational drugs, including vaping, as well as high levels of kind of high alcohol intake, and reducing your toxic exposure, it goes a long way. Reducing toxic exposure, things like choosing organic where possible and rinsing your vegetables and fruits when they come in the house, choosing organic meats and animal products, natural beauty products, low chemical cleaning products, those sort of things that would get absorbed through ingestion from pesticides on your skin. Our skins are the largest organs, so transdermally, when you put kind of body lotions on. What happens with a mother is often when she begins to detoxify, it's very easy for those things to go through the placenta and be downloaded or imprinted into, burdened into a growing fetus. So working to, 1, reduce toxic exposure, but 2, also supporting natural detoxification organs in your preconception kind of planning period. So lots of focus on cruciferous vegetables for liver detoxification and antioxidants, good amino acids, as well as your skin, which is another detox organ, and your lymphatic system. So lots of movement, hot showers, hot and cold showers, magnesium baths. There's lots we can do, but there's definitely something to be said about kind of cleaning up your diet and cleaning up your environment, because it goes beyond us and our well-being and into our children and grandchildren. That is, and stress is a good one too. Last bits, back to getting lighthearted. Nutrition Lab, I see this as an amazing window of time to learn to cook and cook from scratch as much as possible. It allows you to cut the crap out of food which you might have gotten, such as trans fats, food dyes, MSG. MSG excites, is like an excitability. It's a flavor that helps with our fifth flavor, umami. Is the umami flavor. So it's in lots of broths and soups, but it can damage brain cells or kill off brain cells. Trans fats are not great at all, and we avoid them completely when working with clients. Food dyes, they don't help. They can also then be associated with ADHD. Again, neuroexcitability. Don't stress and keep an open mind with flexibility. You may need crucial nutrients that you're not just not getting from your diet, so being open to the potential for some good quality professional grade supplements, or to having foods you haven't tried before. Giving up certain foods, what's it all worth? It's 3 months, do it together as a couple. I can help you navigate that time. Again, it's about preconception nutrition. It's about prevention and optimizing a healthy pregnancy and then a healthy child. And again, it's not just about a healthy child, but then reducing their risk and improving their health throughout their lifespan. And we have the ability to do that in that preconception period. It's not about what you can't eat, it's about what you can eat, and it can be quite delicious. So my next slide is, so I encourage you to get into your kitchen, which I call the nutrition lab. Visit your local farmers markets, look up recipes, and together or alone, start to cook. So some great nutrient-dense preconception ideas for vegans and vegetarians and animal-based eaters alike are balanced recipes. So I often like to include lentils, even if you are not, as a source of folate and protein, even if you're not solely a vegan or vegetarian. I think it's really beneficial for ovulation, for women to have a plant and animal source of protein. Warm lentil salads or stews using lots of antioxidant-rich spices, paprika, turmeric, cumin. Chimichurri, which is a Argentinian sauce with lamb or sweet potato. I do it on sweet potato with a bit of goat's cheese, and it's my favorite thing ever. But basically it's rich in antioxidants, olive oil, apple cider vinegar, so great for preconception. Really, really delicious too. Cruciferous vegetables, try a Taco Tuesday. Try doing it maybe a Napa cabbage or lettuce wrap. Grilled organic chicken or some local fish, or something like tempeh with avocado for some omega vitamin E and healthy fats, red cabbage, that pigment, cilantro, mango, and cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes are rich in an antioxidant called lycopene, which is really great for sperm health. An Asian cabbage salad with like a cashew butter vinaigrette or cashew butter dressing instead of a peanut dressing you could try. So that would be like cashew, ginger, garlic, lime, sesame oil, a bit of miso would be great. Miso is a fermented chickpea paste with grilled chicken. A blueberry hemp smoothie, so that would be hemp seeds would have plant protein and lots of omega-3s. Blueberries, antioxidants and fiber, great source of natural carbohydrates. With some marine collagen if you're up for it, for that glycine and amino acid profile. Frittata would be rich in choline, as well as lots of good omega-3s and plant protein, or sorry, animal protein. Mushrooms and spinach would be a great addition, some herbs. So those are just some options that you could begin to play with if you were on the hunt for some recipes. If you would like to come into clinic to get some fertility or preconception personalized nutrition recommendations, please do. I would love to work with you. I often work with couples, but similarly I can do just an individual. Hope you have a wonderful day.